All rise.
I want viewers watching my show to believe in themselves.
Judge Hatchett is compelling.
I was not the first one to throw a wall.
Let me just tell you what you just said.
Compassionate.
I really enjoy being a judge. Now I am touching people who I will never know I touched.
She's powerful.
You should have never let them walk out of your life when she was 3.
And she's on the bench.
Don't get me preaching up in here today.
Right.
You're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett. Brett Linson is suing Chad Coppers in the amount of $2,250. Mr. Linson claims his best friend ignored a no recording rule for his bachelor party and says his wedding was almost canceled as a result.
2 former best friends in my courtroom. So why are you suing him?
Well, during my bachelor party, I told all my groomsmen and him that he was not supposed to record or take any videos or share it, but he did that. He broke the agreement that we had, and I have the text messages to prove that.
Now, you all have been best friends. Tell me about the relationship. How long have you known each other?
It goes back to Brimhall Elementary School. I was 6, he was 7.
Elementary school?
Yeah,
we've been
all the way
friends
back.
for a while.
Right.
Wow. And you were getting married,
Yep.
and you were hosting the bachelor party.
Yes, I was.
So were you the best man?
Yes, I was.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened?
So, I mean, he called it for Vegas, and I knew that was a red flag for me immediately, but I said, okay, whatever.
Why was it a red flag?
Because, I mean, from what I gather, there's a lot of strippers and all this kind of nonsense out in Vegas that I'm not with, mind you. I'm not with that, but...
You're not with this?
Yes. But, I mean,
anymore.
He was my friend. I trusted him at the time. And
so you planned, let's stop there for a minute. So
all right.
you planned this bachelor party in Vegas.
Yes, I did.
And so tell me what the plans were.
Well, pretty much we were going out for drinks one night, and then the night after that, we were going to have a party at the hotel room. And pretty much what happened was that night I had surprised him with a stripper. And
didn't mention that.
I did not tell him. It was a surprise.
It was a surprise.
Yeah.
You don't usually tell people when it's a surprise.
Exactly. And I wanted to, give him a good bachelor party, and, pretty much that's what you do when you have a bachelor party.
Stop right there. So now you all are in Vegas, and you said that you had told him certain things about what you wanted for this bachelor party.
Yep, I laid ground rules before we went. I said...
What kind of ground rules?
I'll show you the text in a second, but I said, and I quote, "No one is allowed to record any video or pictures or share it during the bachelor party unless you ask me first." That's exactly what I said. And everyone said, got it? Everyone, including Chad, replied and said, yes, I got it. Bro Chacho was in the text message. He said that.
Bro Chacho.
And I have the text right here if you'd like to see it.
Yeah, I would like to see that. So you all go to Vegas, and tell me, well, you were saying that you were a little bit suspect about going to Vegas because of strippers.
Yeah.
So were you concerned that there was going to be a stripper at the bachelor party?
Well, here's the thing. I know Chad, right? And ever since we were young, he's been a trickster. He hasn't. You'll tell him he's a rebel. You'll say go left, he'll go right. You'll say go forward, he'll turn around. So I knew there was going to be something sketchy going on when he said Vegas. That just a red flag went off. And surely enough, a stripper shows up. Like, what am I going to do with that? Right?
So now, why did you have issues about a stripper coming?
Because I wouldn't do anything like that with anyone other than Jennifer, my fiance. That's not me. I'm not with that. He is. So, the love of my life, crazy about her. And so we were at the time we'd been engaged for however many months. And then the bachelor party happens. She freaks out at me. I have textual messages.
She freaks out all the time.
Well, I don't remember having spoken to you. This is my turn. Thank you. So she freaks out at me about you're done. You promised there wouldn't be any.
All right, you're jumping ahead. Chad, talk to me. Do you have a good relationship with the woman that he's engaged to?
Well, Your Honor, honestly, no. She hates me. Like,
she hates you?
No.
With a passion, Your Honor.
Why?
I have absolutely no idea. Honestly, what happens is when I go to his house, she just gets an attitude. There's a weird vibe, a lot of tension, and honestly, I'm just there to hang out with my friends.
So Jennifer would freak out if she knew that there had been a stripper at the bachelor party.
Yeah.
Right. And so is that why you said no videotaping and don't share the videos?
That's exactly why.
Because you didn't want her to find out.
Well, I mean, I knew Chad. I knew he was going to do something. So I said, in case something happens, no videos, no sharing, no nothing. And sure enough, he couldn't even honor that. So.
Okay, so now we're at the bachelor party. And you hired the stripper. And tell me what happened.
Well, what happened was that night I ordered the stripper. She came. All my other friends got their dances. I recorded them doing it too. I did not tell Brett that, but he did not refuse to dance. So while she was dancing on him, I recorded the video and I sent it to our friends that were there and also weren't there. One of our friends, I suppose we didn't find out who, but they must have shown Jennifer the video. And so when she found out.
That must have gone over really well.
Yeah.
Well, I could only imagine because he's whipped.
No, that's not it at all.
That's what he is. That's honestly what it is.
It's not it at all.
She controls what he wears.
My fiance like a queen.
I'm pretty sure she picked out your court clothes, man.
Coming up on The Verdict with Judge Hatchett.
The fact that she let you go out at all was surprising to me. So I thought that she knew what would go along with the bachelor party.
It wasn't my fault for the stripper to show up. That was you, right? It wasn't my fault that the video got out. That was you. That's what I'm saying. You got to take some responsibility.
And later.
Do you expect my 5-foot-tall girlfriend to fight with this strange man at the water park and say, "Oh no, this is my boyfriend Alan's, he's next"?
Closed captioning provided by. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett. The Verdict with Judge Hatchett is back with the case of Brett Linson, who is suing Chad Coppers for $2,250.
Okay, so now somehow, Jennifer sees the videotape. And what happens?
And you can look at the textual evidence, Your Honor. She blows up. I can't believe you've done this. You promised. We're done. Before we went to Vegas, she told me under no circumstances would there be any strippers, any dancing, nothing, none of the foolishness I was referring to earlier. And I said, Chad, but I'll do my best to make sure that doesn't happen.
What did she think was going to happen at the bachelor party?
I told her we were just going to be drinking, having a good time, maybe a little gambling.
You told her we were playing Yahtzee, didn't you?
No, I didn't say that. I said perhaps a little gambling, a little drinking, nothing crazy. Go to a couple comedy shows, something like that.
Okay, all right. So now, you said you wouldn't.
Right.
Promised in all caps. We're done.
The wedding
is off.
Yep.
Got it! Exclamation points all over the page.
I couldn't talk for 2 weeks. She didn't want to have nothing to do with me. But eventually, I talked her into, okay, baby, let's talk this out. I kind of explained the situation. She agreed to, and I remember specifically the text. I said, let's go to couples therapy.
So, Chad, did you know that she had seen the video?
I actually did not until he approached me to pay for the couples counseling. But I actually did hear rumors about it, and I was trying not to, I don't feed into rumors like that. So when I met up with him, I was expecting to get the truth of the details out of it.
This is all very interesting. And so did you all get back on track? Did the wedding get rescheduled? What happened?
Yep, so we went to couples therapy, 5 sessions, once a week for 5 weeks. And now things are back on track. The wedding is within the next 2-3 weeks. But I guess I'll tell you what, he won't be there.
So you got kicked out of the wedding. You're no longer the best man.
I know.
Worst man.
Apparently that. So.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You feel any responsibility for any of this?
Your Honor, I do.
You do?
If I could
Please
take back sending the video, I would. But at the end of the day, he doesn't want me there. I've tried to apologize for it. I will not pay for the video for the wedding counseling because.
Well, that's for me to determine.
Right. I told him initially that I would not because it was his own decisions that he made that night. He chose to get the lap dance. He also did not tell me that she did not want a stripper there. He withheld that information from me. He didn't let me know. I know her, yes, but the fact that she let you go out at all was surprising to me. So I thought that she knew what would go along with the bachelor party.
Well, half a minute. It wasn't my fault to get it wasn't my fault for the stripper to show up. That was you, right? It wasn't my fault that the video got out. That was you. That's what I'm saying. You got to take some responsibilities.
You know, what really troubles me most about this case is that you all have been best friends since elementary school, and this has really created such a divide between the two of you. But this seems to me to be a breach of trust that you shouldn't have videoed and you shouldn't have sent it out. You know, what goes on at a bachelor party should have stayed right there in that room with you all. You know, that was just messed up that you sent that video out. You shouldn't have done it. But you know, if you have a fiance, I'm gonna just be straight up with you, who's so insecure that she is telling you before you go to the bachelor party what you can't do at your bachelor party with your friends, then it seems to me that there's some, you know, insecurity issues here that aren't particularly healthy. You know? I mean, you're a grown man. And as long as you did not disrespect her and you didn't go out and have sex with the stripper, come on, get over it. Let's move on. Am I gonna require Chad to pay this money for the counseling? But Chad, you know, just as a matter of principle, I'm gonna order you to pay $1,000 just on principle. Because you shouldn't have done the video, and if you did the video, you shouldn't have sent it out to folk. Because we don't know where this stuff ends up. Once you start sending stuff out, it could be anywhere. You breached the trust with your good friend. Am I gonna require you to pay for counseling? Absolutely not, but you gotta pay him something. In fact, you're gonna pay him $1,500. Yes, $1,500. This is a matter of principle because what you did was absolutely not right. You get that? I hope that both of you all have learned a lesson, and you need to man up. Telling you what you can't do in Vegas with your friends.
I'm just trying to treat you like a queen.
He has to be a king to have a queen.
Ooh.
Yeah, deep words from a not so deep man. Yeah.
$1,500 to the plaintiff for reasons I've stated will stand adjourned.
Judge Hatchett has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $1,500.
It's messed up what you did, man, but after the wedding, let's try to make amends.
All right, for sure. I'm sorry, just don't let Jennifer control you, man.
Coming up,
I see rafts that aren't being used. This doesn't even need to go down. That's exactly what I kept on telling him before I was punched in the face.
closed captioning provided by. You're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett. Darren Delmonico is suing Alan Shore in the amount of $890. Mr. Delmonico claims the defendant fought him over a raft at a water park. Mr. Shore is countersuing for $2,000.
Darren, you and Wendy are in court. You're in court today with your wife, and you all are suing the defendant, and the defendant has a countersuit. But it sounds like this turned into a whole big brawl at the water park. Tell me what happened.
We went out to our favorite water park after our honeymoon.
All right, Wendy, come and join us. Come and stand with your new husband. And so you all are at the water park, and what happens?
Yeah, so we're enjoying our time. After a couple hours, we get tired, so we end up going to the lazy river. And so I go to the rentals, and the attendant tells me they're completely sold out of rafts. And so he actually advised me if I go to the lazy river and see somebody that's on one of their rafts, and if they're getting off of it, I can actually take control of that raft.
Steal it from them.
Enjoy
Take
it.
control. That's what he told you. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
I end up asking this lady who's getting off of her raft, after 30 minutes of circling around this lazy river, she tells me that she's getting off of her raft. So I end up taking the raft from her as she's getting off of it, and all of a sudden, Mr. Shore here, like a child, jumps from behind my back, grabs the raft, and yanks it. I tell him, "What are you doing?"
Hold it right there. Okay, so Alan, what happened?
There's two kinds of rafts. There's one you can rent for $10 a day, and then there's the other type of raft, which is like communal. And there's a lot less of these rafts, and everybody's really competitive to get them. What Mr. Delmonico fails to include here, Your Honor, is Delmonico, my apologies, is how he approached my girlfriend. He like speed walks to my girlfriend, if I may, and just like grabs the raft before initiating and says, "Are you done with this raft? Can I take it?" And he starts pulling it away from her.
That's not
Do
true.
you expect my 5-foot-tall girlfriend to fight with this strange man at the water park and say,
not true.
"Oh no, this is my boyfriend Alan's, he's next"? Like, of course not. She's not going to deal with you, so she left me to deal with you.
So hold it. What happened, Wendy? You're standing there. What's going on?
His girlfriend, Mr. Shore's girlfriend, was with the raft, and she looked like she was going to get off. So my husband, of course, asked for me, very politely, if I might add, oh, can my wife use your raft after you're done? And then she obviously said okay. So I'm not sure why.
Dude, we're here because he broke my nose.
Coming up,
What happened?
He punched me directly in my face. All I want is to not be down $2,000 for getting assaulted at the water park when I didn't even get to have a good time with my girlfriend.
closed captioning provided by. You're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett. The Verdict with Judge Hatchett is back with the case of Darren Delmonico, who is suing Alan Shore for property damage.
This is what happens.
You know what?
When I took control of the raft, he chased me down and he tried to fight me. And at the same time, he was splashing water at me to let go of the raft. And he ends up getting water on my wife, Wendy. And at that point, he was getting so much water.
So that's the claim for the $890.
Yes, he was getting
because the phone.
Yes. So she drops her phone from all the water he's throwing to her face. That's physical assault right there.
Do you know how ridiculous this all sounds? I mean, really, seriously.
I was being
Over
civil
a
here.
raft? Why not just say, hey, dude, this is my girlfriend's raft. We're together, and so I'm next. I mean, I just don't understand. This makes no sense that two grown men are out at the water park fighting and tugging over this raft.
Your Honor, do you think I wanted to do this whole juvenile thing? The whole time we're doing our tug of war, I'm explaining to him, this is my girlfriend's raft. We are sharing. This doesn't need to happen. I see rafts that aren't being used. This doesn't even need to go down. That's exactly what I kept on telling him before I was punched in the face.
So you incurred $2,000 in medical bills because what happened?
He punched me directly in my face. All I want is to not be down $2,000 for getting assaulted at the water park when I didn't even get to have a good time with my girlfriend.
Your Honor, so the main thing is I tried to deter him when he had his hands clenched up like this towards my wife. He wouldn't even let me finish the story. I thought he was going to punch my wife. He could be a crazy guy for all I know. So what I did was I hit him in the face lightly just to back him off, to deter him away from us.
It wasn't lightly if he spent the night in the hospital.
Your Honor, but you have to take into consideration that he did splash me viciously in my face.
Judge Hatchett's verdict when we return. Promotional consideration provided by. You're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett.
I think that this could have been de-escalated long before we got to the part of punching. I think this is ridiculous. I think this is craziness. I don't know why you all both didn't just back up on this. I don't understand it. You know, you're both going to have to just learn that this is just a painful lesson. I'm not going to give you the $890. I'm not going to give you the $2,000. I'm sorry this happened. But you know, you all have got to understand that you're adults and you need to know when to back up. This is both ridiculous on both your parts. You should have backed up over a dang gone raft. This is craziness. I'm dismissing your claim of $890 and I'm dismissing your claim of $2,000. We'll stand adjourned.
Judge Hatchett has ruled. Both claims have been dismissed.
Hey, I can admit when I was wrong. I'm really sorry, you two.
I still think you owe me for my phone, and I don't accept your apology.
I was just defending my wife, and I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
This has been a production of Entertainment Studios.